No, I'll do the music. You say hi. Hello,
Hello, and welcome to the Adam Friedland Show, the podcast. I'm joined live with Nick Mullen. We're at our studio here in New York City. It is Monday morning. It's 10 a.m. How was your weekend, Nick?
Oh,
The road was crazy.
I thought more I would do the song and then I would kind of fade out as you get into like a serious topic.
Okay.
So it'd be like, welcome to the Adam Friedland Show.
Mm-hmm.
We're here live in New York City. The weather
Yeah.
today is perfect.
Oh,
But
yeah,
what's
let's get the weather.
what's not perfect is breast cancer.
No, breast cancer is most certainly not perfect.
And then the music comes up louder
Yeah.
because you want.
No, I do a preview, then the music comes back louder, then we
Mhm.
have opening credits.
Yeah.
And then like a pratfalls,
Mhm.
you know, me with a monkey, and the monkey starts sucking my dick, and I'm like, come on, this is inappropriate.
Well, that sounds childish.
No, I
but-
mean like, and then like, you know, I'm running into a room, I drop a bunch of
It
things.
sounds childish. To me.
Okay,
It's
well,
childish.
all right. We could have a thing where
Puerile, juvenile.
puerile.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always think of puerile and puerile.
No, it makes me think of a little messy diaper,
Yeah, just a little.
like a little diaper that's messy.
Yeah. I
I love the way Depends has just struggled for years to rebrand adult diapers as anything other than diapers.
right.
It's underwear. Okay, it's just
Mhm.
it's a little bit more. It's you know what? It's just underwear.
It's disposable underwear,
It's disposable underwear.
which is any underwear.
Honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
I've always thought that because the whole premise of underwear is like, look, I don't need diapers anymore, but let's not go crazy.
Yeah, this could be a diaper.
It's just yeah, it's like one training wheel. It's like the kickstand on a bike.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I think they just need to use sex a little bit more to sell the Depends.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
They have like a guy at salsa class.
Well,
and he's, like, not worried.
I got cable a while back,
Yeah.
and initially I was like, oh, I'm going to be watching the Lifetime Movie Network constantly, and I just straight up forgot to do it. And then the other day I put on Lifetime Movie Network, and I'm like, I could have been doing this. I could have been, you know, because that's all I need to be happy.
Like a movie about a woman who's sick of being beaten, and
See, this is the misconception that people have of the Lifetime Movie Network.
I know. I'm a little bit closed-minded, so I'd like to.
Well,
yeah.
because people don't watch Lifetime Movie Network and they think it's all like, oh, it's a woman and you know she has to.
I'm a sexist.
Yeah.
I gotta look in the mirror.
It's not SVU. SVU is for like Lifetime Movie Network is always like, a woman moves to a town to be a local artist and no one believes her that the mayor is actually a ghost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a little bit.
It's different. It's always like
it's not about like I'm sick of getting beaten.
Yeah, no, it's not like there's not really usually an abusive husband.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like maybe a reluctant cheater or something, but it's not. I don't know. They're great. Yeah.
It's not SVU.
I watched one the other day where a woman and her daughter moved to a new town.
Mm-hmm.
I think to start a vineyard. I mean, it's all like it's
Lovely.
Every Lifetime movie, they just open a document and they say, let's just go, whatever happens.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of makes them the best movies. It's like, it's sort of the jazz of filmmaking, or at least storytelling.
Right.
Because they're always shooting off in different directions that don't really follow.
Mm-hmm.
So they move to a new town to open a vineyard, and then the daughter, she's in the high school, and she's trying to make friends, but someone starts a slam site about her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a website that's, and then
Yeah.
and then she's taken to
Look at this fatso.
Yeah, she's taken, but she doesn't seem to care.
Pig whore.
Yeah, she's like, all right. She
Uh-huh.
doesn't, but then her friends are like, we can't be seen with you anymore.
Oh.
And then at one point she's drugged at a party, and the whole soccer team takes pictures with her shirt just lifted up while she's asleep.
And then it goes on the slam site.
It goes on the slam
Yeah.
site, and then everyone's calling her a whore.
And then the mother has to fight back.
And then, the mother goes to the school, and they're like, listen, this happened recently with another girl who killed herself at the school, so this is a problem.
We can't have that.
And then it turns out the slam site was being made by the ex of the boyfriend she's currently dating, But the real problem is that there's a murderer in the town that's after them.
Oh, so it's kind of like a misdirect.
Yeah,
You think it's a slam site movie.
Well, that's what I mean.
You're like, I've seen these a million times.
Right, it's a slam site, but how about there's a murder? The movie's called Murder in the Vineyard.
Oh, okay.
Which I probably have fucked up every detail, but that's the beauty of the Lifetime
Wait,
movie
this is a real movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're amazing. I love it. Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Let's break that one down for the audience.
It's a guy who's on the swimming team. And
Brock.
Yeah, Brock Turner.
Brock Turner.
He's on the swimming team, and his mom was like a star swimmer. And so she's like, you're going to be just like me. And then he gets into, it's not pornography, it's Lifetime, so they can't show pornography, but late at night he'll like close the door in the computer room and just look at like a website that has just pictures of women on it. They're like in sweaters. And then,
because they don't show like violence
right.
or sex.
Yeah. And
Sweater women.
And then he's staying up all night drinking energy drinks. So it's like, is he addicted to pornography or energy drinks?
Okay.
And he's staying up all night.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, he's sort of blowing it at swimming. And then he gets invited to like an upperclassman porn watching party. Like it's a house party, and they're downstairs. They're like, you got to check this out. And it's like, welcome to sweaters.com, and they're like wearing sweaters. And then the like upperclassman's girlfriend, she's like making eyes at him, and then he finds out she has her own pornography website.
Oh.
And then so he starts looking at that, and then because he's looking at it, I think the upperclassman beats him up. Like he gets beaten up for looking at porn, and then
he's like, this is for other men.
Yeah, he gets kicked off the swimming team or something. None of it makes any sense at all.
But what's the seduction element?
That he's looking at porn. They just
so no one's seducing.
All of these movies, I would imagine, are written by like gay Jewish men on life support.
Yeah.
Like just 87-year-olds that are like, what's this? There's a dancing website they have now. All these nurses dancing. What if one of the nurses, she does a dance that there's a ghost. And the dance makes a ghost come back.
Yeah.
And no one believes her that the ghost is after her. But then it turns out that there's a murderer.
Yeah.
And it's called dancecool.internet. And everyone in the town
it's very happening.
And everyone in the town, they can't wait to go on dancecool.internet. And but then the daughter, they find out that she's pregnant, or they think she is, but it turns out it's actually the ghost.
Yeah, but print it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how much it costs to make those movies.
And it's called a triumph she'll never forget.
That's good. That's good.
But full send. Goes right on the Lifetime Movie Network.
Yeah. Get craft services up, get Best Boy, get Key Grips. Let's make it.
Yeah.
5-day production.
Yeah.
Print it.
I love the Lifetime Movie
We
Network.
got to start making those kind of movies.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what we do. We have content deadlines that we blow.
Constantly.
Yes.
Yes.
But we still have the urgency of a deadline.
Do you think there's like a Lifetime subreddit where they're just like, they're fucking blowing it. They're over the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
This used to be good.
There's guys with faded Lifetime Movie Network shirts with the collar just all ripped out.
Yeah.
Just all stretched out with
just
shoe marks all over it.
Yeah.
Dude, bring back Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life.
They never fucking wrapped up half of those plot lines.
Yeah. Actually, let me pull up Murder in the Vineyard, because that I tell you what, there isn't a Lifetime Movie Network subreddit, but there's definitely our fans who will be like, he didn't even remember the movie right.
Everyone knows that.
Let's threaten Adam's family because he didn't remember Murder in the Vineyard.
It seems like a reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A woman starts a podcast, but then a subreddit run by ghosts starts.
That's good.
Yeah, and then
that's good.
And then it turns out it wasn't ghosts. It's actually the girl from high school who bullied her.
Yeah. It's her bully from high school.
It's her bully from high school.
Who has recently reached out to her to reconnect and to apologize.
Oh, yeah. There's this website, Lifetime Uncorked, which is a great name. Then they just recap the movies.
Oh, yeah. Like you're having a glass of wine.
You're having an entire bottle of wine.
You're washing down some pills.
Yeah. A bottle of wine that I guarantee you has a screw-off cap and not a cork.
100%.
Yeah.
You're having a little bit of Charles Shaw.
Yeah. Murder in the Vineyard. Let's see. There's no Wikipedia page for this. Murder in the Vineyard plot. Emma and her daughter Beatrice own a wine estate. Beatrice starts school and is continually harassed by the other students. Her mother does everything to protect her. But where's the plot? Why are there multiple? There are review sites for, multiple review sites for Lifetime movies. After growing tired of a hectic life in the city, Emma Kirk, they always have to leave the city to go to the cover of a Nicholas Sparks book.
It's kind of like a white, but it's like the white woman fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna live a nice humble life.
Well, the one I watched last night, it was a mixed race family.
What?
Black husband, Cheerios commercial daughter, white wife, and the wife's mother, who is a famous artist, dies. And she's also a famous.
And she's left them.
She's an internet famous. She's popular. She's a viral sensation for pottery. And so she has a popular Instagram page for pottery. And they moved back to the husband's hometown. He was a musician, a famous musician, but had to move back home. And now he's starting an app.
Oh, he's starting an internet company.
Yeah. So there's a lot of scenes with him and his best friend, his white best friend from growing up, who constantly refers to him as, we're BFFs. They say, you're starting a company.
We say that.
Yeah, you're starting a company with our
men.
BFFs. 47-year-old men. We're starting a company.
This is my bestie, Nick.
And the way the set of the fucking the startup, it's just like a flat screen TV on a brick wall.
Right.
Just
Cool.
a lot of glass conference meeting rooms. And then the app is just WebMD basically or something. It's called, I think, Nurse 24.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
And so they're trying to get funding for this. So he's all stressed out at work, and they go to the new town. And their daughter's teacher is she's obsessed with the husband initially. And she's like, you're so sexy.
Oh, it's a girl teacher.
Yeah, and then this guy's oblivious to, she's like, you're so delicious and sexy and
delicious.
Strong. At one point she goes, you're the only alpha male I still know. And he's like, well, that's very nice of you, but I have to get back to my wife now, And then eventually he has to, because the wife's mother died, she's emotionally withdrawn.
Oh, and, she's going through a tough time.
Yeah, so he's upset because he's like, oh, I can't deal with this and, my company at the same time.
And this crazy bitch trying to...
Not crazy, yeah. And he's like, oh, it's so nice to talk to you.
She just has a crush.
She has a crush. So he goes out in the woods to clear his head, and she just shows up in the woods, the teacher.
Whoa.
And then he fucks her in his car. And then we could cut right to pictures, just as her on an iPad, replacing the wife's face with her own in Photoshop and a picture of his family.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's freaky.
Yeah. And then fucking the wife, eventually he just tells the wife, he's like, I cheated on you. And she's like, get out. Oh, and then also the teacher, they have parent-teacher night. And so the guy's like,
oh no.
And the teacher goes up to the wife and she's like, I'm actually a huge fan of yours. I bought all of your pottery. I'm like, she's like, I'm the biggest fan.
Oh, so she's a stalker.
She's a stalker.
Yeah.
And then she's like, can I talk to you for a second? And she pulls the wife aside. And then she's like, you have an eyelash on your face. And then starts making out with the wife. And then the wife just is upset and doesn't know how to deal with it.
So it's just like porn plots without fucking?
Right, it's literally that.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And then so she tells the husband to get out because he fucked the teacher.
What, she made out with the teacher after finding out?
No, before.
Before.
And then he tells you.
So she cheated too?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sort of. He actually fucked the lady though in his car.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She made out at parent-teacher
She was
night.
like, why'd you do it? He's like, I don't know, I was lonely and your mom's dead. And then,
that makes sense too.
Yeah, and then
she wasn't there for him.
Yeah, and then eventually.
And also, he's the only black guy in this town where he grew up.
Yeah, and then so she sees that there's a car backing in and out of their driveway, so she calls her father-in-law, who, or I guess it's his father-in-law. It's some cop. It's some older guy that's a cop.
An older black guy.
She's like, no, it's a white guy. She's like, can you look into this? And then he sits her down at the kitchen table, and he's like, so we did a background search on Emma Strickland. Comes up clean, right? Look at this. Middle school, high school, no arrests. And then he goes, which is a huge red flag. And then he has a big red question mark on the sheet. He's like, so we did some more digging, right? We went through all of your sales receipts on your Shopify. Turns out Emily Strickland, pretty close, right? So we did a background check on Emily Strickland.
Wow.
Turns out she went to the same school that your mother taught at. In fact, you were one of her teacher's assistants. And do you remember her? She's like, no. And he says, well, it says here, we got her medical records.
Okay.
It said she had panic attacks back then. And she's like, oh, I do remember my mom saying there was a student with anxiety. And he's like, yeah, so we got her medical records, all of her grades. They have all of her grades. She got an A in this class. She had a 3.4.
Red flag.
Yeah, I had her grade point averages from school, from college, in another state.
This is how he's building
medical
a profile.
records. Yeah, he's like, we have medical records from another state. You know, we have all this information. He's like, with what we got here, I could take this to a judge and get a search warrant. and then, yeah.
You could just imagine the old Jewish writer guy being like, yes.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
This is how the police works.
Then, yes, right. And then so they have all of her medical records, and they have cameras in the house watching her, and they record her secretly saying something, and then with that they can get a search warrant. Then they'll be able to get a search warrant with that information.
So and then so they do, right?
Well, the daughter.
The daughter.
The daughter is staying with some other woman who's rich, who's divorced, and I don't remember what her role is.
Why she leave her family's home?
I have no idea. I don't remember who this other woman is. And
she's too stressed out.
And so that woman's looking after the kid, and the stalker calls the pottery bitch and says, if you better look out, or I'm going to go after her daughter, essentially. And she's like, what? And meanwhile, she's surrounded by police that are already in the stalker's home, going through her stuff. Because they found out she's stolen all the mother's paintings and journals.
They just send in like a SWAT team.
They do not. She says, those two cops better not be with you when you come find me. So she has to go on her own.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just quick shots of her racing through a small town in a Honda Odyssey while she's calling the husband.
Okay.
Who's at the meeting to like secure financing for Nurse 24.
Oh, with the Japanese, the big meeting.
Yeah.
Take a phone call.
They're like upset. And but he's like it's my wife, and then the guy goes, the real boss.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
And then
we can all relate.
He's on the phone. And they're like, she's like, Emma's stolen Chloe or whatever the daughter's name is. And then he rushes out the meeting to save his family, because at the end of the day, his family's still more important than work.
Than the big deal.
And then he goes, but then he leaves the meeting. You understand?
But he still gets it.
And because the whole time you're thinking, oh, this guy works more important than his family. But when his daughter's about to be murdered by a stalker, that's when it really matters. And so the wife, she says, well, where would she have taken? Oh, because the stalker, just has all these syringes for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
So anybody that gets in her way throughout the movie, she jams a syringe into the
evidence.
neck.
Yeah.
Well, it's not evidence.
No, that's her move.
That's her move.
She
always has these giant cartoon syringes and I mean it.
Yeah.
She's jamming them into people.
And then they're dead.
And well, they're knocked out for as long as is necessary for the next
plot.
character to show up, and then they wake up and they go, I don't know what happened. And so
we have to write one of these.
The wife gets to the house of the rich friend, and she's been stabbed with the syringe. She wakes up. She says, "I don't know where she was. Oh, I don't know where your daughter went." And it turns out that she was taken by the stalker.
The stalker, of course.
So she calls the husband and says, "You have to meet me right now. We have to find our daughter. Where would she take her?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I know, the hiking trail." And the significance of the hiking trail is...
That's where he got his dick sucked.
It was another scene in the movie.
Yeah, that's where he got his dick sucked.
It was the only location in the movie we had already seen but only once.
Yeah, and they were able to shoot both scenes that day.
And they could do them both.
Yeah, they could do them both that day.
And so for whatever reason, she's taken the daughter to the hiking trail. She's out in the woods. The husband shows up first, syringe in the neck. She walks up to him, behind him in the woods, and just syringes him.
Yeah.
And then...
so they're like tranq darts, basically.
They're tranquilizer darts.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the police then show up and arrest the stalker, and they're a happy family again.
Happy family again.
Yeah.
And what about the big deal with the Japanese?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They weren't like, this was the most unprofessional
Actually,
pitch
I was thinking
we've
this.
ever seen.
If we have time for it, maybe it turns out that they're ghosts.
And they were ghosts.
And it turns out the company was a ghost the whole time.
I like this idea that, going back to earlier, that there's a woman moves to a small town to start a podcast about starting her life again in the small town.
Yeah.
Right? She's got a big audience. She reads the comments. They're always like very positive, overwhelmingly positive. And then she starts getting hate online.
But because it's Lifetime, she's like, she said there's got to be a scene where she's at the local coffee shop and she runs into her high school crush, and he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, I'm mailing off the latest podcast."
Yeah. Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah. No, I just had to run over to the telegraph office to mail off the latest podcast.
Yeah. And he's like,
they just don't understand the technology at all, even the basics of it. She's just sitting there like talking to a piece of paper, and that's when I realized that it was time with headphones on, the wires going into the sheets.
It's just the wire's not plugged.
The wire's just going through one of these holes and coming out here. She's speaking into a microphone and its wire. And that's when I learned that my mother actually did love me here in small town America.
Small town America, yeah.
And it's an overnight hit. They've published the podcast transcript on the front page of the New York News.
Yes.
The famous newspaper, the New York News.
Yeah.
Of Chicago, Illinois, who her husband is the editor-in-chief of.
Her ex-husband.
And then people accuse her of nepotism.
Yeah.
And then she becomes a nepotism baby. And she finds a website, nepotismbabies.com.
Yeah.
And she's photoshopped onto a picture of a nude baby.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing at her. They say, "Oh, you're a baby now."
Yeah, but she's like, who's generating this content online?
She's at her
trolling
wit's
her?
end. She's in the town square and she's screaming, "I'm not a baby! I'm not a baby!
I'm not a baby!"
And it's called The Woman Who Was a Baby.
The Woman Who Was a Baby and started a podcast in small town America.
It's called The Podcast Baby from the Heart.
Podcast Nepotism Baby from the Heart. I like it a lot. It's got legs.
And then she finds out the husband was on AshleyMadison.com.
Oh my God. I forgot about AshleyMadison.com.
I think that was Ashley Madison's the website, and the resulting scandal was entirely a viral marketing campaign by the Lifetime Movie Network.
100%.
Yeah, they were
100%.
like, what if there was a real website? Eric, doesn't your nephew have a computer?
Yeah.
Can you tell him to... You press the buttons on the computer that makes a website.
We need the name. It has to be two women's first names.
How about we use this one for the other movie we did about the ghost? Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison. That's literally a character from the Lifetime Movie Network.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. From like their name generator.
A woman starts a podcast to help other women cheat on their husbands.
Oh, okay.
And so the women can listen.
To take the power back.
A woman starts a podcast and it helps other women meet men on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. So they get on the phone and they say, "Hello, podcast. I'm looking for a boyfriend." And it turns out all of the men are just it's Chat GPT. They just know what that is for some reason.
It's Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason they think Chat GPT are guys that are answering the questions, real guys.
Yeah.
They think it's Indian guys. Yes, right. So her stalker is one of the Chat GPT office workers who has learned so much about her. So he knows everything about her, and she thinks it's a computer AI algorithm, but in reality it's an Indian guy.
Yeah, everything else is, there's a lot of science fiction, but Lifetime Movie Network, they've really nailed fiction science. It's like really exploring what could be possible.
The physics of everything.
What could be possible with storytelling if you were just completely They're sort of the answer to the singularity.
Right.
They're Luddites.
Right.
They're like, what if we moved in the opposite direction and we moved further and further away from technology while just using all of the language of it?
Yes. I think it's great. I mean, I think we can pump out like 4 of these scripts a week, probably.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, honestly, that's secretly kind of been my pivot.
Yeah.
As the show's been failing, I've been penning Lifetime Movie Network.
So you got a couple of these in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just me.
Ready to go.
It's going to be 30 years from now. I'm going to be in my Mitchell-Lama apartment on the Lower East Side.
What's Mitchell-Lama?
It's a lower income like lottery apartment.
Yeah, yeah.
Efficiency.
Mixed income.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
One, that high rise right by the Manhattan Bridge.
Right.
I'll be on the 85th floor. I have to take the stairs to stay healthy. My bones are disintegrated completely.
You've survived from
One
stairs.
bedroom. I have a Keurig and a 20-inch Samsung on the kitchen counter. And you're going to be calling me up. You're like, let's get the show going again. I'm like, I don't know, Adam. I've got a pretty successful career here now as a screenwriter. I don't know. I don't know if I have time to do any more podcasts.
You know what's like that? Have you ever watched Sex and the City?
No.
It's literally just every single joke is, you could tell, written by a 97-year-old Jewish screenwriter. Everything is a pun.
Yeah.
Like every plot line pivots on puns. I remember we watched the episode where they get into black guys.
Did we? I think we were pretty fucked up.
I don't think you were fucked up. I think it was between podcasts we watched with Stavros.
Right through my fucking
No, I
head.
think you were looking at your phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But there's an episode where they're like, yeah, and it's all just stupid puns.
Those are the last good days of the show when we come over. I mean, in between the episodes, we'd watch either Diagnosis Murder or...
We committed to that for maybe 3 weeks before we started having arguments.
Yeah.
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 It was nice. It was nice for a couple weeks.
It was like the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like
hitting Highlander or something. You know what ruined it? Was putting on Sentinel.
Sentinel. No, Diagnosis Murder was a strong.
Yeah, Sentinel's much better than I remember it being.
You put it on to make fun of it, and then
we
like,
ended up just liking it.
This is a great show.
Yeah.
What is it? He becomes a jaguar or something?
He was like a special forces guy that gets lost in the jungle.
I think we've described him.
And because he gets lost in the jungle, like the PTSD he got is he has heightened senses, so he can like see molecules and hear things a million miles away. And then he gets back to, he's living in Seattle, producing grunge.
Yeah.
He's a grunge producer. And then some like graduate student who studies Sentinels is like, dude, can you freaking believe it?
Oh
dude?
yeah, a Sentinel was like a Native American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're one of these freaking
How did he
guys."
get the skills? From like an accident or something?
He was a special forces guy that got lost in the jungle.
Lost in the jungle.
And then he...
so he had like, it was like a walkabout situation where he was like born again from his...
I love that movie, dude.
Walkabout?
I love that.
It's child
movie.
porn, dude.
But it's a great movie.
It's great child porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Is
such
it
a good
child
movie.
porn if they dress like that anyways?
I think...
I mean the girl.
The girl.
When she goes swimming.
I think the girl is 16 or 15.
But it's Australia.
It's Australia, so it's legal.
Yeah.
That's an adult.
And a 13-year-old Australian girl is basically a grown American man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has higher T levels.
They can bench
than
press
me.
probably the same amount.
Yeah. For sure. Mm-hmm. That's a strong woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that movie is so
That was funny because I remember there was like people got mad because there was a trans weightlifter in New Zealand. There was like one of the first.
That went to the Olympics.
Yeah, and then just them on the stage, like in first prize or whatever, first place, and the other women are like kind of like upset, and they're standing next to a trans woman. But it's like that could just be an Australian woman.
I think that they did really bad. I think she did really bad at the Olympics.
At the Olympics, but there was some other. There
was some other thing where
New Zealand.
Yeah. Do you hear the new trans athlete controversy?
No.
There was a trans volleyball player who spiked the ball into a girl's head, and she got like and she gave a press conference about getting like a fucking like grade 4 concussion. Like That she almost died. It is very funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry that they're making women's sports good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you had the first good take on it, which was like, these chicks got what's coming to them. Maybe they should be better at sports. Maybe they should be better at sports.
What I would love to see is trans women NASCAR.
That would be sick.
And it's all convertibles. And they're just tits and fucking hair, going, and then they're just fucking running each other off the road.
Right. And
That would
they're
be
good
fucking
at
sick.
driving.
It would just be Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah.
Trans Mario Kart.
Yeah, and there's banana peels and
Yeah,
stuff.
banana peels.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can incorporate that.
Did you see the Super Mario Brothers movie?
No, I haven't. Did you?
No. I might go do that.
Today?
Instead of spending $7,000 on Knicks tickets, which is your plan.
I think if we get these $7,000 tickets and wear T-shirts that say the Adam Friedland Show.
No, I'm going to get a Regal Cinemas T-shirt, and then I'm going to pretend to have Down syndrome and sneak into movies.
I don't think that's a law that they let you get in.
It's not a law, but they would think I'm one of the employees.
Oh, well, you'd have to get the polo. Come on. I mean, it's. Yeah. I think they know if you work there or not.
I work here.
No, okay, all right, I'll see that. Yeah.
I work here.
Yeah, yeah.
Try it. Just try it. Simulate stopping that man.
Right this way, sir.
Thank you.
You're here to see Super Mario?
I'm here to see Super Mario.
Yeah, it's your day off.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of like one of those, like a pilot.
I have to go check the theater.
What do they call it? Like if a pilot, they let a pilot in the jumper seat of
Fluffing.
I think deadheading.
Deadheading?
Yeah, I think so.
Just.
I think I know that. Yeah, I think I learned that from Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get pilots' licenses.
Well, that's the thing. They present that in the movie just pretending to be a pilot and would sneak on the flights. But apparently some guy just did that recently.
Really?
Yeah, you just you make a little badge. Because like the TSA is, you'd probably be better off with no security.
Yeah.
Than having the TSA. Because I think you can just wear a badge and walk right past them.
My pilot to Raleigh, North Carolina recently, hot chick.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
A hot chick pilot?
Yeah. On a commercial plane that I was on.
Now, was she actually hot, or was it the fact that it was just a pilot wearing like
I do love a man in uniform.
Right, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It could just be a lady.
Hello.
Because in your mind, you're this is one of
I thought she was beautiful.
This is one of the guards at the camps.
I thought come on, dude.
Well, I know, but that's the fetish.
I thought she was beautiful.
Yeah, because you imagined her being like, wow, who's been eating rats in the bunks?
You've had too many rats.
Who's eating too many rats?
And I'd be like,
hit the showers.
Oh my God, she likes me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No. She was a beautiful blonde woman that flew a plane.
You're still confirming my...
Blonde
hair, blue eyes?
No.
Nazi outfit?
Well, it's a pilot's outfit. It's not a
Which
Nazi
is close
outfit.
to a Nazi outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not close. She didn't have a fucking black... She didn't have, boots up to her knees.
She could have.
She didn't have jack boots.
She was wearing pants. You have no idea.
I guess it is kind of... It's a little kinky. I don't know.
Female pilot?
No, just like... like a woman wearing a uniform, that being attracted to that.
Yeah. Would you like to go see Kinky Boots? Is that still going on?
I don't think it is.
Did Harvey Fierstein die?
No, he's. I think he's still kicking.
Just writing Lifetime Movie Network?
I think he's writing those.
God, what if?
Definitely the guy that's writing those movies was patient zero for the HIV crisis in this country.
I was thinking, you know how I was in Independence Day. What about Woman Dependence Day?
That's good.
And it's a woman who wears Depends. And everyone's saying she wears diapers.
A woman depends.
And they're saying she's a baby.
Yeah, and they're trying to do that thing. What was it with Britney Spears? The custody thing, where you're an adult but you're not allowed to be an adult.
Receivership.
Receivership. So she's trying to declare her woman dependence, but she also poops her pants. You know, so there's multiple layers to it.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I rewatched Independence Day recently. I forgot how funny Judd Hirsch's character is.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Where he's taking the pens.
During an alien invasion.
Yeah, he's
David, see if they have any of those free pens they give out.
that is very funny.
It's so funny.
I think my father would do that.
Yeah, and then later in the movie, when he's about to fly the alien ship, he's like, take some of these with you. And he's stolen the air sickness bags off Air Force Ones.
What? That's
He's gotten that like he's taken extra bag, the bag to throw up in.
Jeff goes up with Will Smith at the end?
Yeah.
What is Jeff's role on the plane?
He is a guy that works at a cable station in New York.
Yeah, but why does Will need him on the plane?
Because he wrote the virus that is going to
Infect their computer system.
My dad's a genius. He figured it out. What did you say? Oh my God, I could kiss you. We'll give the ship a virus.
Wait, so why does he save his dad but not his gay brother?
That's not his gay brother. That's a fellow employee at the cable station.
Oh, I'm confusing it with Mrs. Doubtfire, where he plays Robin Williams' brother.
Yeah.
Who teaches him how to dress like a lady.
Yeah.
During a dude looks like a lady.
Yeah.
Montage. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good thing that there was a song called "Dude Looks Like a Lady."
Yeah.
Because you imagine what if the only option was an Aerosmith song called "Tranny Freak"?
Yeah, that would not fly these days.
And they're like, listen, this is the only song we have
for our movement.
for our movie.
There was that.
Is there in a children's movie?
Robin Williams. This summer. Yeah, it's true. I guess there are a couple other songs with Trent. There's that Lou Reed song, "Walk on the Wild Side." Yeah. Now he's what is that? What's the line?
I don't know. What's the trans line in that?
There's the guy was a guy.
Yeah. I guess the closest you could get to "Dude Looks Like a Lady" is "Sharp Dressed Man."
What is it?
We'll take this moment to plug dates real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
May 12th through the 13th, I will be at the Pittsburgh Improv in Pittsburgh. Please come out. That'll be a lot of fun. And then May 19th, after that, one night only in Charleston, South Carolina, at the North Charleston Coliseum with Shane Gillis, Big J. Okerson, Tim Dillon, and me. We're doing like a blue-collar comedy tour sort of thing. So we'll all be doing sets, and then we're doing like an hour-long podcast afterwards, a live podcast.
A live pod?
Yeah, we're trying to do blue-collar comedy tour, except it's this time they're just pieces of shit.
You're doing it with them?
Yes.
People are gonna like it way more than with me.
Well, whatever. I mean, I'll be the worst one. I'm gonna be the Bill Engvall of actually Bill.
That's
I don't
not
know
true,
who would you say is the worst blue-collar comedy guy. And then also, real quick, Adam will be at Helium Portland.
This weekend.
This week, I'll say the dates.
Go ahead.
Adam will be at Helium Portland this weekend, the 27th through the 29th. That's Thursday through Saturday. Helium Portland, come out. It'll be a fun time. Those are the dates, folks. Please remember them. Please come out.
Holly came from Miami, FLA, hitchhiked her way.
FTM.
FLA.
What do you mean? No, it's FT. The line is FTM.
No. He
Holly
gets to that later. Holly came from Miami, FLA, hitchhiked her way across the USA, plucked her eyebrows on the way, shaved her legs, and then he was a she. It doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah. And now he's gay.
And now it should be in now he's gay.
That should be the line.
Lou Reed really missed that.
Yeah, they should call him Lou Blew It.
Yeah, Lou fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Candy came from out on the island, Long Island.
This is about the green M&M, is Candy.
Yes, the green M.
Uh-oh.
Pardon me.
I should have saved the dates for allergy season.
Dude, it has been a brutal allergy season.
Yeah. How about a woman who
Let's call it allergies.
It's allergy season.
This is good. This is good.
And she's being killed by plants.
Dude.
And none of her friends believe her because they're all environmentalists.
Okay. They're like plants couldn't kill a person.
Yeah.
Candy came out from on the island. In the back room, she was everyone's darling, but she never lost her head, even when she was giving head. That's not even that good of a rhyme.
No, it's not.
I thought this song was way better.
How about Baloo Reed?
And then he
Right?
says,
and he's like, all you need is bare necessities.
oh, Baloo Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I said, hey, all you need is bare necessities.
Yeah. What about Abu Reed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's the monkey from Aladdin.
How about Big League Chew Reed?
Okay, and he's gum.
Yeah, he loves bubblegum.
He's bubblegum.
Yeah. I
what
watched a
about-
little bit of the new Jungle Book in the hotel room.
Was it good?
I was watching it with the sound off.
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't like it.
I really like, that's my favorite part of being on the road doing stand-up, watching
The Jungle
half
Book.
of a movie
The
on
sound off.
HBO.
Yeah.
I watched the end of Man of Steel.
To be honest with you, I almost
Pretty
never,
fucking good.
I almost never turn the TV on in the hotel.
Oh, I watched
I'm
Tucker
usually-
and HBO.
No, I usually get very sad and I'm hungover, and I spend the entire time in the hotel bed with my Kindle, reading the novelization of Lifetime Movie Network films.
Yeah.
One of the
And the Anarchist Cookbook.
one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen in my life. My old roommate Joe Stats took a picture of this fat lady on the bus one time reading a novelization of Dawson's Creek.
That's very funny. I remember you told me that
recently I've been reading Dawson's Creek.
in community college there was a kid reading the novelization of Halo.
Yeah.
That is very good.
Definitely.
That is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just playing so much Halo that
That he has to read the book about Master Chief getting pussy. This song is bad.
What?
Walk on the Wild Side.
Yeah.
Sugar Plum Fairy came and hit the streets looking for soul food and a place to eat. So this is about a black woman.
I guess.
Went to the Apollo.
Looking for soul food and a place to eat?
That's stupid. That's
Yeah.
bad. And went to the Apollo. You should have seen them go, go, go. What does that even mean?
I don't know. Music's stupid, dude.
Not our music.
What do you mean our music?
We make good songs.
We score all of our Lifetime movies.
We do, yeah.
We really should. We should try to. If anybody knows somebody that buys movies at Lifetime, that can be a little fun
It's a little side project.
storyline for the show. Is us trying to get a Lifetime movie off the ground.
Yeah, we could do a table read for the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also we should try to get it produced and put on the Lifetime Movie Network.
We should go on Backstage and get like real actors to do a table read of our.
Well, you got to pick some. Okay, what's current? I guarantee you they probably already have it.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is
Yeah,
number
yeah.
one.
That's already done.
Here's the elements you need, right?
Oh, I got one.
So tech. ChatGPT. Oh, wait, hold on. ChatGPT. Let me write this down. It takes me 15 minutes to write each letter.
That's fine.
Tech, ChatGPT, Supernatural.
Supernatural. You gotta have a ghost element.
Yeah, but let's not do ghosts. Let's do what's something current that's supernatural? Indian Burial Ground.
The
How about
current, people are talking about that.
How about there was a yoga studio for fat black women that burned down?
Okay. Yeah. No. There should be a black-owned business aspect
Yes, it burned down during the George Floyd riots.
during George Floyd. So it's complicated.
Yeah.
So it's complicated, right?
Yeah.
So it's an anti-racist.
Yeah, there was
Protest, but
the movie
black-owned business
The movie
was
opens
destroyed.
iPhone landscape, right? Not iPhone actually. Sorry, it'll have to say recording, and it'll look like a camcorder
With a red dot.
and then it says
REC.
and then it says internet video.
Internet video.
Yeah, internet video, like REC,
Yeah.
the time code on it.
Yeah, and then a fake
Yeah.
social
And then
media
it's-
app, Clock Talk or
Right,
something.
and it's a police officer being like, "Sir, I have to write you a ticket," and it's a black guy like, "I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong."
Okay, so it starts with a hate crime. Great.
Yeah, and then
great.
the police officer's like, "You have to go to jail, sir," and he's being arrested.
You're black and you have to go to jail.
You're going to jail.
You're black and you're going to jail.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"This isn't even my car," and he's
Yeah.
like,
I
"That's
didn't
not-
do anything.
That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard." And then people around her are like, "Leave him alone. Leave him alone." And
But you need a line. You need a I can't breathe. You need we need like a line that
they
becomes.
don't ever get that close. They like.
We need like a mantra for the riots.
Okay, but this just gets to.
Okay,
like,
let's
this
go.
just
I like
gets us
this.
to.
I like this.
So then there's riots in the town, right?
Okay. The riots.
They're like, riots are breaking out all over East Pleasant Beauty Menopause Village.
USA.
Yeah, Menopause, USA. Menopausewitz. It's a western. Menopausewitz,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, Western Mass.
Western Mass. Okay.
So this woman
It's in the
moves back-
Berkshires.
This woman moves
Gorgeous.
back. Yeah, woman moves back to her hometown of West Menopausewitz,
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
And she's like, I just miss seeing the leaves change.
Well,
Right?
there has to be another reason she goes back. But for now, so it's West Menopausewitz.
She's running from something.
It's a small town.
Checkered past.
And the cop gives a black guy a ticket that he doesn't deserve in front of people.
Yeah.
Right? And then, while he's in jail, I don't know, he has a heart attack. Or the cop writing a black guy a ticket, and he's like, oh, and he has a heart attack.
He has a heart attack.
He has a heart attack and dies. So then there's riots, and then they show the riots, and they're just, it's just 5 people walking down the street with picket signs.
Yeah, but it's shot guerrilla style. Yeah, it's shaky cam.
Yes,
okay. Yeah.
So
it looks like a lot more people.
it looks like a lot.
We're just
and-
trying to save.
Right, and then you see we'll just put there'll be one piece of plywood over a storefront and be like the town has been sort of devastated. Meanwhile,
an old couple in a general store, and the guy's like loading his shotgun.
Michelle Stephanie,
She
grew up in the town.
Yeah.
And
are we gonna work in the podcast element?
We'll find that. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
we have Chat GPT, so we have to come
okay.
back at that point.
Okay.
So Michelle Stephanie has moved to the big city to.
From the big city.
No, she's grown up. She grew up in West Menopausewitz.
Oh, so this is a flashback.
This is the main character.
Okay,
This
great.
is the beginning part is just a setup. There's riots, and the buildings have been have been destroyed.
Okay.
And so she's living in New York. She has a successful podcast. So we see her in her office, top floor of the Empire State Building, glass corner office.
Right.
You know, like just fucking. She's made $800 million podcast.
Very tasteful power suit.
Yeah. She's
right?
basically Tar.
Right.
Yeah, from podcasting. And
okay.
And
I like this.
And then it comes in. She's in her office and she's painting, and she's like, "I'm working on my latest podcast."
Yeah.
And then fucking, and they'd be like, "Oh, did you turn on the news? Like, there's crazy. There's this small town," and she's like, "Oh my God,
that's
I grew
my
up there.
town.
I forgot about my town." So I have to go there and explore the damage that's there, but also the damage in myself that made it so I could never really go back.
And she wants to make it a podcast subject? She's going to do a podcast.
No, she has to go back. She wants to do
on her small town.
She's like, I've made all this money, but I don't do anything of value because my podcast is all about dating tips for business women.
Yeah, and she lost like her sense of being just a regular West Menopausewitz.
Well, as her hometown's been destroyed by these race riots, so she wants to go back to do like a Habitat for Humanity
Give back.
Give back. So she's like, I'm just going to go for a week and I'm going to help clean up. But she's there and she discovers something that like, oh, this busy lifestyle in the city, being a podcast bitch, is not what I want.
Well, maybe
so she stays in the town, right? And she's repairing stuff, and then she's like opens up a business, right, in one of these buildings that's burned down. That's the other thing too. They rebuild all the businesses, but all of the black people are now gone in the city, if there even were any. And the building she does or opens her business in was a fat black lady yoga studio. Who are you flipping off?
Dave, because he keeps putting the camera on me while you're cooking.
No, I'm not cooking.
No, keep going.
So Michelle Stephanie, and so she opens her new podcast studio, and it's like stern, it's a glass front in the middle of this town.
XM radio.
Yeah. But it was a fat black lady yoga studio, and they couldn't fit through the door when the fire.
All right.
And so now, like, she's like working late one night, and it's like boo, and
ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts.
But I thought you didn't want to do ghosts. Indian
Right, so
burial.
maybe they won't be ghosts.
But I got a good idea for the ChatGPT aspect. Okay. We find out that it's like she's been doing PEDs for podcasts, right? And her big secret that she's running away from, and maybe like her friend is like...
It's also too, her daughter's there, and she's worried because her daughter's becoming a tomboy.
A tomboy. Yeah. She's like, I'm not like other girls.
I'm a tomboy.
I'm a tomboy.
Yeah.
I like sports. I like flannel. Yeah. Okay. Her big secret that she's running away from is that she's been using ChatGPT for podcasts.
Well, she's been using ChatGPT to take steroids.
To take steroids.
She's been buying steroids off ChatGPT.
She's been buying steroids off, but basically she. Right, which would be a huge scandal in the podcasting community. It would rock.
Then we find out that the black lady ghosts have been replacing her steroids with Pearl Miller Milling Company syrup. And so
Okay.
she gets diabetes, and she can't figure out why she has diabetes. And it's because the ghosts are doing it to her. So her blood sugar's all fucked up, and she can't podcast correctly anymore.
Right. Oh, so she's learning how to live in the skin of the people that she's forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black people.
Yeah, she could be black, too.
Oh, I like that she's black.
And they're like...
It makes more sense if
like,
she's
you're
black.
supposed to be fat.
Right.
You did CrossFit. You betrayed your...
I like the ambiguity of her being a young, professional black woman that's actually shutting down a black-owned business and not realizing that she's doing the violence, that she's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is good. Okay.
Yeah.
And her daughter is a tomboy, right?
Her daughter's becoming a tomboy.
Right.
And then, she's a single mother, but she goes back home and she meets her ex-boyfriend.
Right.
And then the ex-boyfriend is becoming like obsessed with the daughter. She's like, stay away from her, stay away from her. And you think that he's going to fuck her, but it turns out he's actually her biological father. And then he tells the daughter. And then she's mad about that. But eventually he's the only one that can stop the ghosts. He's like the only one that believes that the ghosts are real.
He's the only one that believes her.
Yeah,
Right.
eventually.
Right.
And then so he helps her.
And she has to make this moral trade-off that she thinks
the ghosts are like, what if you involve the police, you'll never see your podcasting equipment again.
Oh my God.
And so she has to get rid of the ghosts with the help of the birth father of the daughter. And then they do, and then the movie ends with the police arresting the ghosts, who then we find out actually gave the guy the heart attack who parked the other guy's car. They're like, new footage is uncovered. The ghosts.
Oh, there's a longer clip.
Yeah, there was actually a ghost.
There's a longer clip.
That double parked the guy's car in front of the, like, we see one of the ghosts getting in and double parking the guy's car. Initially, that led to the riots.
So the ghosts set him up because they wanted to prompt a race riot.
Yeah.
What did the ghosts stand to benefit from that?
They're ghosts.
They're just ghosts.
They're ghosts.
They're just dicks.
And it's called
ChatGPT.
no, that can't be in the title. The Haunting of Her Heart.
The haunting of her heart.
The Haunting
Yeah.
of Her Heart.
A Black Life Mattered.
A Black Lives Matter.
Her Black Life Mattered.
No, it's never that on the
It's
nose.
too.
The key to all of this is
Yeah.
that everything that's happening is just something they overheard, and they don't have any information. They know nothing about it.
That is so funny that the cop saying that this is enough for a warrant. Her grades.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. Anyways, folks, thanks for joining us this week. We're gonna wrap it up.
We will be
there.
back
We're
Monday, Wednesday schedule, and this week we will be
We actually
releasing.
have 30 more seconds.
Oh, amazing!
We're
This
trying-
week we will be releasing a new episode of the talk show, and the following week another new episode of the talk show.
Yeah.
Two big guests; they're already in the can. We're just finishing.
As
them
it
up
stands
right
now, for the sake of consistency, this is the Adam Friedland Retro Style Podcast Premium.
Correct.
We'll do these. I initially had the schedule set Monday, Wednesday and then like cascade them, but it might just be easier to record the premium ones on Monday, so you're seeing this a couple hours after we shoot it. And
I
then
like that because this is a topical show.
it's a topical show.
Yeah.
So every Monday you get the video, and we'll have the audio. If you're one of these guys that only wants to listen to it,
Correct.
We'll go back to doing it the way we were. We have the setup now. There's no reason not to do it. So Mondays you get the premium podcast. Video and audio, Wednesdays, that's free on YouTube and wherever you want it. Please.
And the talk show, the main
The
objective
talk
here,
show, this is just to fund the talk show, which is our baby, and we want to finesse and make sure that each one is done right rather than rushed out the door.
and the main objective here is to have consistent content coming to premium subscribers. So we appreciate everyone's support.
Everyone's support, please, at the very least, subscribe on YouTube so we don't have to fucking DMCA and get into a war with this fucking Vietnamese guy. Because I'll tell you, last time we went to war with those motherfuckers, well, we got the show Sentinel out of it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll DMCA this guy and Adam will get some Native American powers, and then that can be our second lifetime.
Why they call the Vietnam War a quagmire? Because they were
He was like,
giggity,
yes,
giggity.
right? Because
Yeah.
there was a lot of lady boys that people were having sex with,
And they were like giggity.
That's probably
giggity.
why he's named Quagmire.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he was a sex tourist in Vietnam.
Yeah.
He was a sex tourist in Vietnam during the war. He didn't even know the war was going on.
That's a cool guy to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I have to piss, and that's 11
Thanks
o'clock.
a lot.
We're done. We're wrapped. Thanks,
Appreciate
everybody.
it. Bye.
Wait for the lights. So I was talking to you last week about Viagra. Yeah. Okay, we can do it.
Viagra.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
I got to piss so